Today is a single day, and if you're not familiar with this day, we do have a professor of marketing and psychology from CU joining us this morning.
Yeah, good morning. Peter McGraw joining us. Peter, when you talk about Singles Day, especially in different parts of the world, it's a thing.
It's a thing. It's much bigger in Asia than it is here.
So what exactly is it, first of all, and then tell us a little bit about more like a single lifestyle. It's something people are actually choosing a lot more right now.
Indeed, yeah. So what started as an informal celebration of singlehood at a Chinese university in the 90s was adopted by Alibaba, the big online retailer in China, and turned into more of an official holiday.
Wow.
It's kind of like the opposite of Valentine's Day.
It is.
In a sense.
Yes, that's right. So 11/11/11/11 designed to...
That makes sense.
Well, there it is.
That makes sense. Okay, well, here in the U.S., are you starting to see kind of a change in the makeup of the people's relationship status, how they're choosing to live their lives?
Indeed, yes. So this is really surprising. So half of American adults in the United States are single. That's 127 million people. And Pew Center projects that 1/4 of millennials will never marry. So we're seeing more people choose to pursue a life that may not have a lifetime partner, whether it be for now or forever.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, during the holidays, some people struggle with being single, especially if they're looking for the love of their life.
That's right.
That can be a challenging time, but there are ways that you can maybe make it a little bit easier, or at least not have to worry about it as much.
Yeah, you know, one thing that I like to do is talk to the people who are talking to singles. You know,
Sure.
There's always an Aunt Sally at Thanksgiving or at Christmas saying, is there anyone special? And I think what that realizes is that half of American adults who are single are not looking for a relationship at the moment. And then those that are, they're experiencing the struggles of a world of dating. It's hard to find a good match and to make that work. And oftentimes these singles have a lot of other really interesting things happening in their life. They're not just defined by their relationship, and they'd like to be seen that way.
So you can tell Aunt Sally at the Thanksgiving table, no, I'm single because I want to be, right?
Yes, and that, of course, then you have this sometimes very spirited conversation about
the spirited holiday conversations,
Indeed,
right?
yes.
Gear up, everyone. I am just curious about the impact socially, but also economically, with the fact that, like you said, the makeup of relationships and families are changing in the country.
Well, so economically for singles, I like to say there's a tale of two singles. So on one hand, it is an expensive life to go it alone, so this is amazing. 28% of households in the United States have one person. It's actually the most common household type. But that's an expensive household type because when you are partnered, you get to share expenses there. And so some singles are experiencing a lot of financial stress and insecurity. There's over 1,000 legal benefits to married couples that single people do not have access to.
Right.
On the other hand, there are singles who, because they are unattached, they can move to a new city and find a better job. They can work at extra hours. They can start a side hustle. They can live in a very small place. They don't have all the trappings of the American dream, and thus they have a lot of discretionary income. Hence, Alibaba.
And then you can spend.
That's right, yes.
That's fascinating.
So really quickly before we go, you have a podcast on single living. Where can people find that?
They can find it anywhere you can find podcasts. It's called Solo, the Single Person's Guide to a Remarkable Life.
Very
There you go.
interesting.
Peter McGraw, thanks for joining us this morning.
Pleasure.